These are the most immersive experiences you can have on the Quest 3 right now. Last week I did a video on a game called Veins in Vantage. It's a game in development for the Quest 3 that uses photogrammetry and 3D actor capture, and it totally blew my mind, which made me ask the question, what are the most immersive experiences on the Quest 3 that you can actually play right now? I've split them into a few different categories and sections, and first we're going to start off with photogrammetry. Photogrammetry is essentially going and capturing a 3D environment of a real-world location. It creates one of the most immersive style environments that you can be in inside of virtual reality, and the first experience that does that the best is Brink Traveler. I've seen people describe Brink Traveler as stepping into a postcard, and in a lot of ways that is what it feels like. Essentially, these are real-world locations that you can travel to in virtual reality that are real world. They've been scanned, videos, photos taken. You're actually stepping into a 3D render of a real world place. There's cloud movement, there's water movement, there are blades of grass moving around, there's sound effects. It legitimately is one of the most immersive things that I've ever done in virtual reality. And every person that I've put into this, it has blown their mind. If you want to travel the world and you want to do it in VR, this is definitely the most immersive way to do it. And photogrammetry is a great way to bring those locations into VR. But it's more of an experience than an actual game, right? Well, this next one uses photogrammetry, and it's an actual game, and this is Real VR Fishing. Real VR Fishing uses photogrammetry to bring real-world locations everywhere from South Korea to the United States and even in other areas of the world. You can go and fish in these locations for fish that actually are in those local regions. The game is relaxing in the sense that it is fishing, but it's a little easier than real life fishing. You actually catch fish. The fact that it's multiplayer and you can hang out with other people in these real world locations and they look so fantastic and you can lose yourself in them based on sound effects and rain. It's so good that you can actually forget that you're not standing on the shore of a location. And that to me is the key of immersion, is losing yourself in it. Well, there's one more experience I'm going to mention in this category, even though it's not necessarily photogrammetry. It does use 3D actor capture to create a super immersive and very atmospheric game. This is The Seventh Guest. This is a remake of a very old flat game, and it's had a Quest 3 update, so the visuals themselves look really good. You've got lighting and the location looks great. But the actors, it's what really sells this experience and levels it up to something totally unique. You see, they capture these actors on a 3D capture soundstage, just like with Vein of Vantage that I showed you earlier. They're real-life actors, but they're overlaid and made to look like ghosts, so as you're watching them, you're seeing real people act, real facial expressions, but they're overlaid into a digital world and made into ghosts, so it feels legit. It's amazing. Like, I played through the game recently, I tested it, but never got into it. I went through and played through the whole thing in almost one setting recently because it was so immersive. It just felt so good. So we've talked about some photogrammetry stuff in a couple of games, but the reality is most people buy a VR headset for gaming. Well, what are the most immersive gaming experiences that look the best, play the best on the Quest currently right now? Well, if you're talking about those two specific categories, you've got to mention Red Matter 2. Red Matter 2 is by and large the most beautiful game on the Quest platform, even for Quest 2. But now with the Quest 3 updates, it's mind-blowing. Real-time shadows, reflections, an incredible resolution. It pops in every sense of the word. It's got a great story to it, super atmospheric, extremely immersive, and then the visuals just make it that much better. If you have not tried Red Matter 2, you don't actually have to play Red Matter 1 to really enjoy Red Matter 2, although the first one looks great as well. If you haven't played Red Matter 2, I highly recommend checking it out if you want an ultra immersive, beautiful looking experience standalone on the Quest 3. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Batman Arkham Shadow. It is one of the best looking games on the Quest, but it's not even that makes it the most immersive. It is the fact that you feel like Batman. The way that they designed this game, both visually and with its mechanics, allow you to actually legitimately feel like you stepped into the body of Bruce Wayne and are putting the cowl on yourself. The immersion level in this game is higher than a lot of games that I've ever played. In fact, there were times when I would stand and play for hours just based on the fact that I lost myself in the story and wanted to continue playing and seeing what happened next. Another game that is immersive in not necessarily a visual way, although it is visually immersive too, is Asgard's Wrath 2. This one is immersive in its scale. Asgard's Wrath 2 is by far the largest, most complete, full video game on the Quest platform. I'm talking like 100+ hour campaign if you really go through everything, a very long story, massive environments, puzzles, combat, a deep progression system. This game is like if you took a flat action RPG and you just ripped it out and put it right into VR. That's what it feels like. Visually, it looks great. There's some stunning set pieces, but it's, again, not even necessarily the visuals that sell the immersion factor. It's all the elements of this game working together to pull you in and feel like you're part of the world of Asgard's Wrath 2. All right, so this game might be different than what you're expecting, but I'm gonna put Golf Plus on this list, and I'm gonna tell you why. Specifically though, with a club attachment. I recently started playing Golf Plus a lot more based on the fact that I got a really good club attachment, and my dad wanted to play, and I can tell you right now, we've been playing almost every day, and I lose myself in these games. Number one, because it's multiplayer, which is a great way to experience golf anyways. But number two, because the game is so well built. And with a club attachment, you can feel like you're legitimately playing golf, even though you're standing in your living room with a headset on. Now, immersion doesn't necessarily have to mean visuals, and it doesn't have to mean a VR game. Mixed reality is a huge part of the Quest 3, and there are some immersive experiences that really actually make it feel like you are either bringing a virtual world into your world or peering into a virtual space from your living room. First of all, let's talk about Last Stand. This is a multiplayer shooter game that has zombies, and you're trying to fight against somebody that's across from you in a mall or whatever location you're playing in. Zombies are swarming you. It uses your real-world location and your real-world furniture to hide behind and to fire at the person across from you, which is in their own room. It's mind-blowing. I played it several times, and it's very, very good and feels extremely immersive, based on the fact that, number one, you're moving around your physical room, and number two, you're talking to someone across the way in their physical room. It's something else entirely. It's totally unique, and it is extremely immersive. Even if the visuals aren't super immersive, it really feels really good. This next one is a mixed reality game that's really unique. This is Wall Town Wonder. This game I wasn't really sure what to expect, but it actually takes your room and it builds an entire world inside of your room. It's called Wall Town Wonder because it takes place in your walls, and it's got a really cool element to it where it's got some story going on, and you're going to be involved in the town itself. I'm not going to spoil anything or really go into what the game is. I just wanted to say this is a great experience if you're looking for something unique that isn't like a shooter. It's not like a puzzle game. It's something that's going to take your room and completely change it and make it feel like there's something else entirely living in your room. It's really cool, very immersive, and a really unique way to play in your physical space. This next one I've mentioned several times on the channel, but it's really just because it's that good, and this is Shattered. This is a kind of a horror puzzle game that takes place in your room and out. So you're gonna bring elements from the VR world into your room, and you're gonna be peering from your room into these virtual environments. Whether you're opening up a hatch on the floor in your physical floor and looking down through it into a different world, or you're opening up a door inside of your room and peering through it to another space. There's a lot of things in this game that make you question reality, and to me that is a peak level of immersion, and it just does a wonderful job at making you feel like you've crossed the threshold into some sort of Twilight Zone experience. This next one is Spatial Ops. Now this is twofold. Number one, it is a multiplayer game where you can actually set up your physical space, whether it's a large space, a house, and multiple people with headsets can play in that space, and it's like paintball or airsoft, where you're each walking around, hiding behind elements, picking up guns and firing at each other, multiplayer arena style battle. But the other aspect is the single player campaign, which I think is fantastic. It essentially creates a space in your room where you're standing and gives you portals that open up to a new world. You're an agent and you've got a gun, you're fighting against the bad guys. It's a lot like Time Crisis or one of those kind of duck and cover style arcade shooters, but unique in the sense that you're in your real space and you actually have portals open up in the direction that you're moving, so you can move through this virtual space while still standing in your space. But it feels really cool because it's actually making you want to feel like you're in your own space, but are peering into another space and interacting with it. That's a really cool part of mixed reality that I think that makes it really, really immersive. This next section is something I've talked about extremely recently on the channel, and that is watching movies or even playing games. Immersion doesn't necessarily have to mean experiencing something in 3D or VR or even mixed reality. It can literally just be a passive experience. So whether you're using spatial TV to watch a movie and seeing the light reflect on your ceiling and walls from a massive screen, that's peak immersion for me as well, because you're immersed in the sense that you're watching a movie on your space, or you're actually in a movie theater in big screen and you're immersed in the space watching a movie on a giant movie screen. It could be either one. Okay, so that's most of the experiences right there, but I'm gonna give you one bonus one. Walkabout mini golf might not be the most visually stunning from an art style standpoint. It uses some interesting, simplistic art in a lot of ways, but it's still beautiful, and a lot of locations are extremely stunning, to the point where I've gone on dates with my wife in Walkabout Mini Golf. We've gone to Venice, we've rowed around in a boat, we've played mini golf multiple times in different locations, and it always feels like we've traveled somewhere and experienced something unique together. So the multiplayer aspect of Walkabout Mini Golf is really important, I think, too. That really brings the level of immersion up even higher. Walkabout Mini Golf is already one of the best games on the Quest, in my opinion, and it's also one of the most immersive. Now, I know I didn't list all of the most immersive games on this list. Let me know what you think down in the comments. List your favorite most immersive experiences on the Quest and why, so everyone can know what other games they should be checking out. And who knows, maybe I'll compile another list and do another video like this. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button because it helps more people see the video. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Thanks so much again, and happy questing.